the dog.
So my name is Rachel. I am a 50-year-old female, and I've been on this journey wanting to start a podcast for probably the last 2 or 3 years. So it's been kind of trial and error, and I've been looking for the perfect mate to do this with. So this is where Linda comes into play. Linda, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Linda. I'm a 57-year-old female, and I've actually wanted to do a podcast, well, a YouTube channel, I would say, for a long time, because I have all these embodiment exercises that I've wanted to have posted so people can learn them, breathing exercises as well, and I'm forgetting. I just want to help. And I'm also interested in having a podcast that just has two normal people who have lived and done our own research as far as our life experience, because I think stories are very powerful. And even the New York bestsellers that I hear on podcasts, of which I am very grateful for and have changed my life, their personal stories are the things that are the most effective to me. And I'm wanting to hear from people who aren't New York Times bestsellers, personally.
Right. And I'm always searching for different information where I can learn and that I resonate with. And I feel like as of lately, it's been really hard to find something that has just caught my attention. Everything seems so scripted and everything's so professional. And that's great for certain things, but I like to hear people's personal stories and just to learn their growth and where they've been and where they are now. And so we've known each other for what?
A long time. So can I tell this story?
Yeah.
All right. So I have a lot of physical, mental issues that require constant care. Rachel was at an alternative medicine DO's office working as an IV person and a front desk person. And the thing that sticks in my mind, well, we got along really well, but the prices of the supplements that I was buying at this place went up. And one day I burst into tears. And Rachel was like, it's going to be okay. We're going to figure this out. And we ended up figuring it out. And I ended up teaching her daughter voice and piano lessons. And I got help with my supplements. And this friendship just bloomed and kept growing and growing and growing. And it's really amazing to have a friend that we've gone through thick and thin for a long time, at least 10 years.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe
well, Zai's almost
closer to
20. So you started seeing her when she was like 5.
Right. Little Mermaid stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, so for me, I have a really hard time like bonding with females. Just growing up, I always had girls that were very catty and very petty and just didn't have the ability to have like good female friendships. So I'm always very guarded, and I'm very, cautious of who I spend time with. And so we just like kind of hit it off, and our relationship has been great. Like, we're able to tell each other the truth, whether it hurts or not, because we know we're both coming from a place of love. And sometimes you just need somebody to say, hey, like, suck it up, or like, hey, it's good. Like, everybody falls, everybody falters. So it's good to have that female bond where you can go through any life circumstance, anything, and still be true friends. Like, there's never been any judgment. And me coming from a place when we met, I was in a super toxic, narcissistic relationship. And I would always make excuses or be like, oh, like, this is why, or I just felt like people that are hurt need the most love. And even when she knew I should walk away, she was still there supporting me but still telling me the truth at the same time. So I really appreciated that. And it took a lot to eventually leave, but she was someone I could always talk to about anything, no matter what, and I didn't have to worry about her judging me or her talking behind my back, or I just knew that she was always truly there to support me, even if she didn't agree with my choices, which was super important.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
And yes, because I've been there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I have codependent recovery training that it's like, you don't people have their process, and you can't really talk them out of it. You can just talk them through it.
Right.
And be there. And you've come through with flying colors, in my opinion.
Yeah, and so our spiritual journey, I think both of ours has been very different. I came from a place when I started working at the doctor's office she was talking about. I knew nothing about holistic medicine. I knew nothing about like different types of spirituality other than Christianity coming up in a church. And I was very I didn't want anything to do with Christianity. I had a lot of judgment and stuff surrounding Christianity growing up. So, I just like stayed away from it completely. So I had no idea what spirituality was. I didn't know like the power of your thoughts. I just didn't realize. And so she's helped me grow in that aspect as well, because she's had such a great experience. And she's always like taught me and been there. And I think she's really seen my transformation.
You've done your own stuff though.
Yeah.
You really have. And what I like about this is that we're very different. Mm-hmm. Yet we're similar enough that we can get along, but we're very different. We're both badasses in our own right. You probably more so. But our spiritual paths have been like this. I think.
Yeah.
They come together, and there's other things that you resonate with more than I do, and vice versa. So that's why I'm also excited about doing this channel or podcast with you, because we're going to bring different things. Mm-hmm. We're not going to, be perfectly aligned on every little thing. And so I think that's going to bring out more information. And the other thing that I think is going to be interesting, because I already was thinking about it, is that you can't do something like this without reflecting.
Exactly.
And when I start thinking about who I was, I could cry now. Mm-hmm. The things that I thought about myself and the things that I let people say to me and do to me, that shit would never fly now.
Right.
And that is, to give that hope, in recovery they talk about sharing your experience, strength, and hope, and then we don't give advice, we don't tell people what to do, and that is so powerful.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Just having someone listen. And I would say my personality, I grew up with two brothers. I was the baby. I was spoiled rotten, but very tormented as brothers do with little sisters.
I didn't know we had that in common.
Yeah, I've always had this attitude, like, suck it up, crying about it isn't going to fix anything, so let's problem solve and figure out where we go from here. And it's been an experience, because I feel like now I was all like masculine energy, and where now that I'm older, just within actually the last couple years, where I've actually come into my feminine energy and realized it's okay to ask for help. Like, I don't have to do everything on my own. I can ask for help, and that's not a sign of weakness, which has always been a problem for me. And even just relationship with my daughters, when they were younger, I'd always be like, why are you crying? Like, why are you crying about this? And I just never understood, because I was always like, suck it up, deal with it, figure it out, which wasn't always the best way to figure things out. So I know a lot of times now that my daughters are older, they always felt like maybe they couldn't talk to me about certain things. And so I look back at that, and I have a little bit of regret. I wish I would have been a little bit softer, a little bit more loving. I definitely always showed them that I love them, but I feel like, and I always hugged them and kissed them, but like when they got teenagers, it was definitely conflict. It was really hard with teenage daughters and emotion.
And you had a lot going on in your house too.
Oh,
as
absolutely.
Most people do.
Yeah.
And that's the other interesting difference about us, is that I'm childless, and not in a relationship. I don't know if that'll ever happen again. And Rachel you've got a lot of kids and grandkids. and all of that. I'm a teacher, and I
you said a lot of kids.
Like, a lot of kids. Well, 4. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine having one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else we were going to talk about? I want to ask you why else do you want to do this podcast? Is there anything else you want to say about why you want to do this?
Yeah, I think I just to share my journey. I want to share my experience. I want people, I don't know, it's just, I've been through so much trial and error, like trying to find my way. And I know people need to do that to figure out like what is your path, and just sometimes sitting still and being quiet. So I just want to be a voice for someone that maybe is, you know, in this place of where they feel stuck. Especially like as we get older, as women, we're aging, and everybody still wants to look good. They want to feel good. Like it's hard when you look and you're like, oh wow, I'm 50, like I'm not 20 anymore. So I think that just, I don't know, it just puts you in a different mindset as you get older as to like what's really important. So I guess I want to be able to share my experience, and I also just want to have a little bit more financial freedom eventually, and take back some of my own time with being able to possibly, you know, make some extra income. And like we're at retirement age, and well, pretty soon, and us being where we are in the generation, like I'm 50 and I essentially have no retirement fund, like having kids young and just having to figure things out. So it's just like, that's another thing, like what does this look like in this season of our life? Like what's the next 10 or 15 years look like?
Right.
I mean, I still want to work because I love what I do, and it's not like work, you know, it's actually my passion. And I know for you too, that's your passion. And not ever doing anything in the field that I'm in, I don't think I would ever just want to be 100% retired.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No. And I'm in the same boat as far as retirement. I have itty bitty because I've been through 2 divorces, and I've never been well enough to work a real job or a full-time. I mean, I run my own business as I have a music studio, but that's because all of that works because I can do it on my terms, because my body has serious demands, and if I don't take care of that, then I can't do anything. So I actually can't do anything without you either. Yeah. She keeps me going. Also, I'm a performer and a musician, and I've also created all of this content about breathing and movement and centering, blah blah. I mean, they come up with new names for it all the time. It was embodiment, and now it's somatic healing and whatever. I don't have time to get plugged into what everybody else is doing, but I know that what I do works, and when I don't do it, things don't go well for me and all of the people that I've taught. But I can only teach one person at a time, maybe 4 or 5. So and I've always wanted to have a music YouTube channel, but I haven't even, because I can't do the technology, which is what you're gonna do. And to be able to, because I can't tour. I mean, I'm talented, I've got all the songs, but I don't have the physical prowess to put that out into the world. And I've had so much grief about that. That alone has been a journey, and I've come to a lot more peace about not doing that, and less envy for all the people who did get to do that. But this might be a place where my music, my art, my creations can get into the world and actually be of use. That's if I do another CD, the title, which I haven't written the song yet, is To Be of Use. That is my biggest heartfelt goal. It's like, I don't want to just sing for people and have them be entertained. I want them to be changed. And that's, perhaps a good segue into us talking about the 3 words that encompass our podcast, which is truth, trust, and transformation. So what does truth mean to you?
Truth means being my full, authentic self, like no matter what. Like living out what my truth and what my purpose is, and being honest with myself, especially because I've lied to myself for a long time. Being truly honest with myself about like my role in life and what is my purpose and why am I here. And that's the big part of like sharing that is just my truth, not whatever anybody else's truth is. But also trying to help people figure what that means to them. Yeah. What about you?
Well, when I think of truth, I think of that, but I've been subject to people's lies a lot in my life, and that was super wounding and painful, and switched my trajectory to where now I'm pretty wary. Like, you have to earn my trust. I have to watch you to see if what you're telling me is actually true, and how I figure that out is by watching people's actions, you know? And so truth to me, it's like with my students, with my friends, I try to say the truth kindly, and I do affirm. I'm a very good affirmer, but then I also tell the truth of like, ooh, that wasn't so good, and this is how we can make it better. And then they know that I'm telling the truth because I'm willing to say something. I'm not just fluffing everybody up all the time.
Right.
So the truth, we can't get anywhere unless we have the truth.
That's so
You know, and that's a subjective thing, but I think as we grow spiritually and get attuned and centered, we can feel what's true. And, you know, that's probably actually do an episode on intuition, because that's a really big deal. So, and truth leads to trust. And how can you get anywhere if you can't trust yourself or the people around you? And that, you know, I trust you.
Yeah, I trust you to 100%.
Yeah, and that is, you know, I could get emotional about it because there's not many, I don't know, I've just had a lot of, we're going to get into all those experiences that we've had.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And how we got through them and how we changed. And it's a lot of work, but it's so worth it.
It is. And then the transformation part, it's like, if you're not willing to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself, you're not going to have that transformation. And sometimes it's hard to look in the mirror and be like, okay, like, why are you here? Like, why are you in this position?
And what the hell are you doing?
Exactly, because it's so easy to blame. It's so easy to blame everybody else. Like, especially me coming from a super narcissistic relationship for 15 years.
I just bounced from one to the other.
I had to, and I did too, you know, the kid's father, then my youngest daughter's dad, and then the one I was with, the most narcissistic one, is just like, okay, like, you're choosing this, so like, what is my role in this? And if I hadn't done that, if I just blamed, nope, it's their fault, like, I was great, everything was fine, but it's like I chose those people. So what was it? Why did I choose them?
Right. And what were you learning? And the whole thing of having to learn it several times.
Oh my God, yes.
With different people. And that is so normal. There's like research to back that stuff up.
Yeah.
And the transformation part too is like, you don't just go in the cocoon once.
No, not at all.
You know, and there's phases to it. And all of them can be beautiful.
Right.
You know, it's just, and after, I think, you know, going back to trust, the more you participate in transformation, the more you trust it. The more you trust the process of it. So when I always say this thing of like, I'm having the breakdown before the breakthrough. Like when I feel really, really bad and I'm just like, oh my God, it feels like all the work I did is for naught. And then I'm in this really uncomfortable, that's a mild thing to say, uncomfortable place that I'm just about to get through to some next level where, you know, the sun shines even brighter and I see more clearly, and, you know, and it just kind of cycles.
Right.
Anyway.
So for you, at what moment did you realize, like, there is some, like, did you grow up in church?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And did you always, like, for me, I grew, you know, we weren't like, you know, we went to church on Sundays, you know, of course, Easter, and like I went to Awana's as a, a little youth group on like Wednesdays, but I was just going to get like snacks because you'd say verses.
That's what all the kids are going for. We're going for the snacks.
You'd say verses and then you get prizes and stuff. And so I grew up like with grandparents that were super religious and very stern, and you just never questioned anything. And I remember when me and my cousin were like 7 or 8, they had us watch the Left Behind series. And it was so traumatizing. So here we are thinking like our parents were just gonna, like God was gonna come and take our parents, and like just be left here alone and having to figure it out because we were evil, is what we got from it, because we were naughty kids.
Right.
And so it's just like growing up with that, like you don't question anything. It's not okay. You just do it. You do as you're told. And, if you do that, you're going to burn in hell. If you do that, you're going to die and go to hell. Like, it was always the threat of burning in hell.
Yes.
And it was just, like, so traumatizing. So as I got older, I was like, nope, like, no religion. Like, I'm just not interested. And I think my biggest moment of realizing that there's a higher power that doesn't necessarily, not a God in the sky, but there's something bigger than we are, like, probably 10 years ago, where it just really hit me and realized, okay, yeah, there's something bigger than us.
Yeah.
There's something
and energy
that I can't
moving.
explain, and energy healing, and like especially like going into an integrative practice coming from standard medicine, like we had all the Reiki healers, the different spiritual leaders, and I had no idea. Like I thought I was like, what do you mean you can heal your body with energy? Like what are you talking about? Or like our office manager having us do Tai Chi, and she was like, do you feel that energy in your hands? And I'm like, this lady is crazy. Like, what is she talking about? And then when we did it, I could feel it. Like, oh my God, my hands, something's there. Like, that's weird. Like, what is that? And I just started down this whole like rabbit hole. And even with you and your different like gifts that you have, and it's just like, it was such an eye-opening moment for me, and that kind of helped me look at my life and be like, okay, like why is this going on? Because I would always focus on like what I don't want. Like, I don't want this. I don't want to be with a person that's an alcoholic. I don't want someone that's not honest. I don't want someone. And so as I was saying all these things that I don't want, that's exactly what I got. It's everything that I didn't want, because that's what I was focused on. I had no idea, like, oh, if you focus on the good, the one good thing, then more good things will come. I didn't know. All right, so what was your transformative experience on your spiritual journey or your spiritual like path?
Well, I think that I will share when we do an episode on that. But I was raised in a church. I went to parochial school until I was 9, and then we moved and I went to public school. But by then I could teach Sunday school class, and I was always deeply spiritual and deeply mystical, and I had a wild inner life, and I felt really connected. But then certain things that I was being taught, just like, I was like, that's not right. And luckily I had a cool pastor that at one point talked to me alone and said, I like that you're a doubter. I like that you question. And I was just saying those things to rile you guys up. And I was like, oh, well, that's good. So I went in and out of believing. I remember I went to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan with a friend when I was early in college. And I had these experiences being deep, deep in nature, even when I didn't believe. I had no faith then, or no spiritual practice, nothing. And I will never forget, what the waterfall said to me, and what it felt like to run barefoot through the woods. And those things really pointed me in a direction that I was already in, like when I was little, I was always into nature, and all of the things that I'm still into, I've just refined them. But there was a turning point when I was at a Christian church, and the guy who I had really a lot of respect for, the pastor, said, he made a joke about animals having souls. And of course, animals don't have souls. And I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done. And then luckily I'm a musician, and the realtor that helped me buy this house in my first marriage sang at all these New Thought churches, and he reeled me in. And so I started singing at these places where they were talking about all this stuff, and then I'd go to workshops and groups, and so I've been inundated with all of these different things over decades, and so it's just grown and grown and grown, and we'll have to get into that. That's going to be a lot of episodes.
That's going to be a
a
very
lot of
deep
episodes.
dive, definitely a deep dive into like how we started, where we are now, what do we still do from the beginning, and what has changed. Because my journey has been all over the place, and one thing I have found that the universe has always brought me whoever I've needed, even when I didn't know that I needed them. Like, and that was always a huge, like, wow, like I really needed this person. I had no idea what you did, but like I need this. And so, yeah, that's going to be a huge, long, interesting topic.
Yeah, so speaking of topics, we're going to talk about spirituality. Probably going to cover some health things, because my health has been an issue since I was, probably 4 or 5 years old. And you're a massive health practitioner, a lot of stuff about always new and upcoming things, and nutrition and all things like that. Relationships, having them, not having them, all the addiction and codependency, and
yeah, I think the biggest thing, we're just going to show you our true, authentic selves, like the good, the bad, the ugly,
the messy shells.
Yeah, the reality.